Hello everyone, I'm Defudge3004 and I'd like to talk about the Valheim update that came out on August 22nd. It is called Hildir's Request and it is this one right here, and that's Hildir right there. The time has come for all those who have stocked up on gold from the caves and fueling villages. Said gold is a prime currency in the world of Valheim after all, and there's a new vendor in the 10th realm where you can spend your riches. For as you know, Hildir is not the only merchant in the family, and his sister Hildir has made her way to Valheim at last. But she has had some trouble on the way, and it appears most of her stock has gone missing. When you find her, she might request some help. By completing the task she has for you, you will unlock more things to buy from her. Buy both new clothing as well as some other items that might come in handy in your base. So basically, no new weapons, no, things that might, no new armor and stuff, just basic clothing and base items from what I can tell. This update also brings some long awaited server modifiers. Select a lower difficulty for a more casual experience, ramp it up for a hardcore playthrough, or come up with a mix of your own. Besides general difficulty, you will find settings for portals, resources, raids, and more. And all so that you can customize your experience to your Viking heart's content. I will go over that in a little bit. I just want to do this for right now, and then I'll show you some of the things that you can change in the game before you actually start up the game. You kind of got to know where it is, and I had to take a little bit of time to look to see. So abbreviated patch notes, new content, new NPC, Hildir the Merchant, new locations, new world modifiers added, 2 new crafting extensions, new hair and beard styles, and new items. Miscellaneous hair and beards are now visible when equipping helmets. Various visual improvements, quick stack button added, and manual snapping for building added. So that way you'll just snap to it instead of you having to constantly, make things up and down, try to make it work. So they have blacked out a lot of this, so you kind of have to put your mouse over to see. New content, new NPC, Hildir the Merchant, new location, Hildir's Camp, new location, Smoldering Tomb, it's a classic dungeon, a Howling Cavern, a classic dungeon, and a Sealed Tower, an open dungeon. 3 new mini bosses and world modifier button added to start game screen with many customizations, difficulty options. 8 different fireworks added, which I don't know anything about the fireworks. I've heard about them, but that's about it. New item, a sparkler, new clothing, 10 hats and headscarves, new clothing, 14 dresses and tunics, Black Forge extension, which is something from, I believe, the Mistlands, so we're a long ways from that. Mage table extension, new material barber kit, new furniture barber station, new material iron pit, new furniture fire pit, and 8 new hairstyles, 5 new beard styles, and 4 new music tracks. Fixes and improvements, and then quality of life. I'm not going to go over the fixes and improvements, but the quality of life, quick stack button to quickly place all items already in a container from your inventory. Can also be done by simply holding the use key when interacting with the container. So apparently press E, and then if you hold it down, it'll put in the things that you have in your inventory in that container. Or you can also transfer the things that are the same into a container through a different interaction, but I don't know about anything about that yet. You can now manually choose snapping points with Q and E for precision building. Intro sequence can now be skipped from the pause menu, and game can be paused while in the intro. Workbench and Forge now getting slightly increased build range when upgraded, and crafting benches build names is now cylindrical instead of build range is now cylindrical instead of spherical. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I guess we'll find out. Precision placement of building pieces changed to show when holding control, so it'll help you out when you're building, and added ability to copy build piece while in build mode, which is good because a lot of games do have that copy where you can just do the same thing and just slap a bunch of stuff down really easy. There's Xbox stuff. I don't have a console, so I'm not going to go over that, but if you would like to read that, that is right here if you want to check that out. And then there are stability issues that have been fixed. So various crashes and all that stuff, which is kind of like the fixes. And then miscellaneous. God mode will now allow damage down to 1 health rather than taking no damage. New console commands and tombstones, which you can create tombstones. So if you have things that, have gone away or you just want to make a graveyard, you can make tombstones and stuff like that. And you can also delete them with force delete command. New item set base and command can specify the items to override all items of that level. I don't know anything about that, but I have heard about some of this stuff. All kinds of console commands and fix the saving of some stats, localizations, and all kinds of other things. So there's not exactly a lot, but there is a new character that we can go. She is in the meadows, and if you have already been to a lot of meadows, you have to find the meadows that you have not been in, and she will be somewhere in one of those, apparently, from what I understand. And the bosses that she brings when you complete some of these quests that are in these dungeons are tough. They will always be starred, and they will not be the normal, like, let's say, skeletons from the Black Forest. They will be the rancid remains and the tougher ones, and they will be 1 and 2 stars exclusively. And there will also be mini bosses coming in along with them. So it's going to be very, very tough. And there's also fuelings that you will have to encounter. If you're not ready for that, don't go do the quests yet. Wait for a while until you can get there. Let's go ahead and get into the intro, and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as making changes to the game. Now that we are in the intro for Valheim, there's the merch store, Valheim shop, and the change logs that we just went over here. So if you're looking to change some of the things, you have to go to Start Game, and then you have to click on Start, and once you get to this here where you have your name, you can go to World Modifiers, and you can go to these, and you can see easy, hard, hardcore, casual, hammer, and immersive. So these are things that you can do. So combat will be very hard, governs how much damage you give and take, all the way down to very easy. So if you want an easy way to do it, you can do like that. Death penalty. This is one that I was waiting for, and that's why I quit playing, because I'm waiting for this update to come out, because it says you do not drop equipped gear, and skills are reduced a lot less than on normal mode. This is equipped gear, so if you have your sword and shield and then your armor, you won't drop that stuff, but you will drop your bag still, and you have to go back and get it, but you will have your armor and whatever on that you had equipped. That's what I've been waiting for. If you do this very easy, you drop all items and skills are reduced a lot less than on normal mode. Easy, you drop all items and skills are reduced less than on normal mode. And normal, you drop all items and skills are reduced normally. Hard, equipped items are dropped. The rest of your inventory is lost permanently and skills are reduced faster. And the hardcore, you lose all carried items and skills permanently, and you have to rebuild everything. But I want that right there. I had to look to find out about how to do this, so that's that. Combat we went over. Resource rate. So this just goes over the things. We're just going to do normal. Raid rate. Governs how often enemies may raid your base. So you have from none, if you don't want your base raided, you can do that, to much less, to normal, to more, and much more. I am probably going to do much less because the raids are kind of a pain, but I would like to have some raids every now and then because there are things you can get in the raids that are kind of important. Portals. This is very important. Portal items. Allows you to bring all items with you through portals for a more casual play style. This will circumvent the progression and exploration of the world as it is intended. But now you can do it with this, with the portals all the way like this, so you can go through portals carrying ores and ingots and any iron, copper, whatever you happen to have on you. That's awesome. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I haven't thought about it, but we will see what all happens. So normal, of course, you drop things and all that stuff before you cannot go through a portal with iron or any sort of ores or ingots. Here, no boss portals. You will not be able to use portals to exit boss dungeons while a boss is active. And then this one, no portals. You will not be able to use portals to teleport yourself across the world. In other words, you have to go by boat or walking or whatever you can do to get around, and that's all there is to it if you do this one. I am probably just going to have it on normal for now because that's just fine with me. And then raids on base on the progress of each individual player rather than on which bosses have been killed on the server. This settings are recommended if you want the game to be slightly friendlier to players with different progression. So player-based raids, so it will go by your progression, not the bosses. No build cost, build pieces required, no material build. You still need to discover recipes as per usual. Passive enemies. Enemies won't attack until you provoke them. I am thinking about this one because this one would be really, really good. So when you go up to a Draugr, he won't come after you until you hit him. And that would actually be really, really nice in the swamps. I just don't know if it works when Bone Mass spits out his stuff. If those guys will be passive as well. Probably not because they are intended to attack you, but I don't know for sure. And the no map means no map. There is no way to get around that. So easy, combat is easier, and there are fewer raids on your base. Hard, combat is harder, and monsters will raid your base more often. Hardcore, combat is a lot harder, and enemies will raid your base more often. When you die, all your skills and all items you are carrying will be lost forever. You have no map, and you may not use portals or exit boss dungeons while a boss is alive. Casual. In casual mode, combat is a lot easier. Enemies will not attack you until provoked, and there are no raids on your base. Resources are more plentiful, and you will not drop items or lose skills on death, which is good. That's cool. Hammer mode. In hammer mode, you can build all pieces for free once you have discovered the recipe. You still have to find the recipes by discovering stuff, but you can build everything for free. You don't have to go out and get a bunch of wood and yada 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 yada. There are no raids on your base, and enemies will not attack you until provoked. Other difficulty settings are normal. And in immersive mode, you have no map and you may not use portals. You would need to use your own wits to keep track of where you are in the world. Other difficulty settings are normal. So this is quite hard, but not quite hardcore. So there is that. But I wanted this right here because I didn't want to drop my equipped gear. Keep that equipped in mind because that's very, very important. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not. I have not thought about it, but I just wanted to go over this so that you can see all the stuff that you need to do, and that is pretty much all that there is with this update. So I will be getting to the game soon. Look forward to that, and until next time, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.